Okay, now what we shall do? Yeah, revision. Of course, this is the last revision of this academic. Okay, so which chapter? Which chapter we do? Last chapter, that is sources of energy. The first revision part is over. This is the second revision. That is revision part of this chapter, that is sources of energy. Lesson number 9, sources of energy, revision 2. So there in the first revision part, what are the things we have learned? We learned about the renewable sources of energy. Then in this session, we are going to learn the non-renewable sources of energy. See, describe the non-renewable sources of energy. So, non-renewable sources of energy cannot be replenished in a short period of time. So, they can be replenished in a short period of time, but in case of non-renewable sources of energy, the sources cannot be replenished in a short period of time. Means it takes a longer period to regain. Then example, petroleum, coal and natural gas. Petroleum, coal and natural gas are the sources which are coming under the non-renewable sources of energy. Then fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. How these fossil fuels are formed? Fossil fuels are formed from the dead plants and animals that buried under the rocks, and it takes millions of years. So how these fossil fuels are formed? These fossil fuels are formed from the dead plants and animals that are buried under the rocks, and to form these fossil fuels it takes millions of years. Not in 1 or 2 years, it takes millions of years to form these fossil fuels. So first, that is petroleum. So even this petroleum is also called as the crude oil. Crude oil is drilled out at an oil rig. What they are saying, from where we are getting this petroleum means, this petroleum is drilled out at an oil rig. This oil rig is a large platform created over the water from when the crude oil is piped out. So LPG, kerosene and diesel are produced from this crude oil. So crude oil is drilled out at an oil rig, and this oil rig is a large platform created over the water from where the crude oil is piped out. LPG, kerosene and diesel are produced from this crude oil. Next example for the non-renewable source of energy, that is natural gas. A gaseous fossil fuel found trapped between the layers of the rocks. So a gaseous fossil fuel found trapped between, where they found that trapped between the layers of the rocks. And CNG means the compressed natural gas. So the CNG is a cleaner fuel. It is a clean fuel as compared to petrol and the diesel. CNG means it is natural gas. Okay, see, a gaseous fossil fuel found trapped between the layers of the rocks, and it is the cleaner. It is a clean fuel when we compare to petrol and the diesel. Next is the coal. It is a solid fossil fuel. So there natural gas, one is in the steam form, petroleum liquid form, and this is a solid form. So it is a solid fossil fuel. What are the uses? For producing electricity. Even coal is also used to produce electricity. Then in boilers at factories. Where this coal is used now? For producing electricity. In boilers at factories we are using this coal. And it is a fossil fuel. Even this coal also to form, it takes millions of years. Not in a short period of time, it takes a longer period. Next, list the advantages of non-renewable sources of energy. Now we shall study the disadvantages. List the disadvantages of non-renewable sources of energy. So limited supply which non-renewable sources of energy take millions of years to form. So very limited supply will be there. Then they cannot be replenished, means in a short period of time we cannot regain this sources. Then oil spills. So digging and transporting of the crude oil often result in the oil spills. Then the oil leaks out while we are drilling out. During that time, the oil leaks out from the drilling pipes and it harms the fish and other sea animals. Totally where? In the sea. In the sea and oceans, there will be this oil rigs will be formed. From there, we will be piping up. We will be drilling out the oil. So what happens if any pipes are damaged? So from that damaged pipes, the oil will be mixed with the water. So now in the water, the aquatic animals are found, like fish and other sea animals will be harmed by this. Then air pollution. So burning of fossil fuels also causes air pollution. Totally the pollution will be formed by this non-renewable source of energy. But in case of renewable source of energy, no air pollution, that is totally the pollution will be not there. But in this case, pollution will be formed. Then name the different forms of energy. Now the different forms of energy. Which are those? The different forms of energy are heat energy, light energy, mechanical energy, sound energy and electrical energy. Name the different forms of energy. The different forms of energy are heat energy, light energy, mechanical energy, sound energy and electrical energy. Describe the different forms of energy. So after knowing these different forms of energy, now we shall describe the different forms of energy. So first one is heat energy. When a fuel is burnt, energy is released. When a fuel is burnt, energy is released in the form of heat. A hot iron has a lot of heat energy that is used to iron clothes. Then sun gives us heat and light energy. When the fuel is burnt, energy is released in the form of heat. Then a hot iron has a lot of heat energy that is used to iron the clothes. Even from sun also we are getting heat energy because sun gives us heat and light. Next is light energy. Even this light energy also by sun. Sun gives us light energy and this energy helps us to see the things present around us. So just imagine if the sun is not there, light will be not there. Then earth will totally dark. So this light energy helps us to see the things which are present around us. Next is the mechanical energy. The energy of an object. The energy of an object due to its position or movement, that is called as the mechanical energy. Then a moving car and a stretched rubber band has this mechanical energy. The energy of an object due to its position or the movement, that is called as the mechanical energy. A moving car and the stretched rubber band has this mechanical energy. Sound energy. When a force causes an object to vibrate, sound energy will be produced. So string vibrates when we pull and leave it. So next one is electrical energy. Electrical energy is mostly produced from coal. This electrical energy is produced from the coal. Example, by using this electrical energy, fans, television and even other electrical items can be run. Next, write a note on changing the forms of energy from one form to another. So, according to the law of conservation of energy, energy can be neither created nor be destroyed. What they are saying here, according to the law of conservation of energy, the energy can be neither created nor it can be destroyed. Energy can be transferred. This energy can be transferred from one form to another form. See here, example, how the energy can be transferred from one to another form. Car engine burns the fuel. So, car engine burns the fuel. Here, it converts the chemical energy into mechanical energy. So, a fuel is an example for chemical, that is chemical. Now, this chemical energy is now converted into mechanical energy. Why? Because by using this fuel, a movement is there. So, chemical energy is converted into the mechanical energy. Next, solar panels. So, solar panels, it uses solar cells are there. These solar cells, they traps the sun rays. They traps the rays of the sunlight, and that solar cells transform the solar energy into electrical energy. They convert this solar energy into the electrical energy. So here the solar cells are helping. Then dams. So in the dams the water is stored. Okay. So dams uses a generator to convert the mechanical energy of the stored water into electrical energy. So this thing we have learned in the hydro energy. The water will be stored behind the dams. From there the water will be we fall the water from Grade-5 to fall on the turbines. During that time the turbine wheels rotates. During that time what happens? Electricity will be produced with the help of the generator. So dams uses a generator to convert the mechanical energy of the stored water into electrical energy. So this is how these are the examples transferring of electrical energy. So every time you plug something into a wall outlet and you are using the electrical energy, and that electrical energy is transformed into another forms of energy. Air dryer, here electrical energy into mechanical energy, thermal energy and even sound energy also. There in the blender, electrical energy, mechanical energy and even sound energy will be produced from one form to another form. In the alarm clock also. So electrical energy, light and even sound energy. Light energy and sound energy will be produced. I hope you have understood about different renewable sources of energy. Okay. So disadvantages we have learned, then we learned what do we mean by the non-renewable source of energy and how long it takes. All these things we have learned in this chapter. So here completes your annual examination syllabus revision. Now your part of work to revise all the chapters which are there for annual examination, that is reproduction in plants, animals, habitat and adaptation, then comes health and hygiene, air and water, the earth and the moon, force and simple machine, sources of energy. Totally 7 chapters will be there for the annual examination. All these 7 chapters revision are given, and now it's your work to sit and study well for the annual examination. And all the best for your examination. Thank you.